finished. Okay, I've been playing f***ing Call of Duty for f***ing 17 hours straight. I'm f***ing upset. I've got milk on my f***ing lips because I don't give a shit. I just like... And who gives a if I made a mess? So, I just punched the wall, like, twice, both hands. I'm so f***ing upset. I don't give a shit, man. There's blood on the wall now. So, I hate Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So it is the worst game ever. 17 hours straight. Playing it, and can't get into it, and I can't, man, it's not my game. I mean, Call of Duty 4 and 5 is okay, but... I was expecting it to be like Call of Duty 5, but better weapons and better things, but...
Okay, I've been drinking milk for 17 hours straight. I've got milk on my fucking face because I was just like... I punched the wall like twice with my hands. I'm so fucking upset. I don't give a shit. There's milk on the walls now. I fucking hate pasteurized milk. Worst drink ever. 17 hours straight. Been drinking it. I mean, goat's milk is alright. Soya milk is alright. That's not... I was just expecting more flavour. Shit!
Hi guys, and welcome to the Split Screen. Yay!
Episode 8.
8 is great. The Ocho.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot our headsets. We're using the Rock Band mic again tonight, but it's gonna be okay. I hope.
Says the person who left the mics.
I forgot to put them in my bag.
I think you did that because you're a ball bag already. Bowling ball bag John. So, yeah, what we saw there was Modern Warfare 2 Kid. I like to believe that after a good night of gaming, play an MW 2, that's what a little 10-year-olds are doing after we pound their face in.
I'm more upset about the milk. I can relate to that milk guy a little bit better.
Yeah, I like the milk guy too. He had a better haircut. Although I think it's a fake wig. Tight. Well, we got tons of stuff for you today. So much stuff that John's going to tell you about it.
Okay, well, let's start out with a little bit of news. So I know how a lot of people love to hear news about how video games cause violence and whatnot, so I found one for you. This one's called Man Goes on Rampage After Playing Wii. Apparently a man who police say bit his mom in the ankle, broke out a window with a BB gun, and hit a pedestrian and a tree with his car was arrested Thursday evening.
Sweet.
Colorado Springs police went to Meadows Mobile Home Park about 5 p.m. Thursday in response to reports of a disturbance with a bat and a gun. According to police, James Williams had gotten angry over a Wii game and went on a rampage. At some point, he got into his car and rammed several other vehicles, as well as hitting the pedestrian and tree. Several residents in the park followed him, and when they confronted him, he got out of his car with a BB gun.
Oh no.
And shot another vehicle. When the officer arrived, Williams ran to the police cruiser and jumped on the hood. When he jumped off, he was tasered and arrested.
Taser? What is it with tasers this week?
I don't know. They're lucky. You know, if I was a cop, I would have shot them. They should be lucky people are getting tasered now instead of shot. So
it's definitely better video. Well, you don't have the humanity afterwards.
Well, we can't show videos of people getting shot, but tasered is fun.
I like tasers. I like tasers. They're fun.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't make me. Damn it. So, the end?
The end of that story.
Awesome Town. Well,
what do you got?
you know what? I saw something on the internet the other day, and I wanted to kind of reflect on it. I don't know.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts, maybe. I saw that the head of Activision, Bobby Kotick, who has 3 chins now, by the way, said that they only made they didn't make that much money off of selling 17 million map packs for Modern Warfare 2. So I don't know what the money. I'm not even sure if that's a lot of money, but it probably is.
How much money was the map pack to download?
It's $15, right?
$15 times 17 million.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, and I thought about that. And I'm like, that's insane. How could that not be a lot of money? And then I don't know. It got on me thinking about the storage issue on gaming systems. Like you saw the Xbox 360 had they just announced support, or they just integrated support for USB.
Yeah, hard drive.
Yeah, and then you have all these giant hard drives coming out, and it got me wondering, what is the end game for these companies? There has to be one. A target goal. That's there's something. Us consumers just think that they're putting out games, but what is the end? I think the end is what they're thinking is that to completely eliminate or to completely maximize profit by completely eliminating places like GameStop or GameFly, where it's all digital distribution, where they get every single dollar that comes from any potential sale from their games. And the way they do that, well, I mean, those things take up a ton of space, so give people a ton of space for them to use. So, I don't know. I just thought about that. And if that's the case, I don't know. I think it's hard to phase out something like that because I buy very few games day one, and the ones I do are the obvious ones that are going to make tons of money. So, but I want that Amazon there because I don't care if a game came out 3 years ago and it's a shitty game, but for some reason I want to play it. I don't think it's worth $30.
Yeah, and you can get it, on Amazon for, $5, but when it's on Xbox Live Arcade,
it's always $30. It will always be $30.
It's the same price. And you got to think about it. Xbox Live Arcade, along with the other types of download mediums, are already kind of moving towards that, having this all digital content online type stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I like that. So there's some deep thoughts for you. Ooh. Was it Jack Handy's Deep Thoughts?
Yes, that was very great. I really missed that.
Yeah, they should bring that back. I think they did, and it really sucked, so they kind of cut it off.
I don't think it sucked. I think the people that thought it sucked. So if you think it sucked, you sir suck.
Damn, dude, that's pretty harsh.
It is pretty harsh. I'm sorry. You don't suck. Who am I even talking to? I don't know.
I'm talking to me, so shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, you're up next, Chief.
So, speaking of stuff that doesn't make sense, Force Unleashed 2 is coming on October 26. Pretty exciting. In case you remember the Force Unleashed 1. And it frankly pisses me off. It was about 6 to 8 hours maximum of content for a $70 freaking game. If you bought that game, you basically paid their development cost. The Force Unleashed 2 was supposed to be using this all-new, really awesome 3D engine. All the Force Unleashed 1 was basically a test of that engine. And so, basically, the buck was passed to us, the consumers, for them paying to make that engine. I mean, that was barely a playable game. Yeah, there was some neat stuff, but it was only 6 hours of content.
I thought the controls and stuff were very clunky. It was tough to play for me.
It was pretty clunky. I got used to it. I played through it a couple of times just because I felt like I wasted money. I was an idiot. I went and I bought that game. I paid the $70 for it because I figured, hey, it was a Star Wars game. You know, what could possibly go wrong? And so I go and I buy the game, and I bring it home and I play it and I beat it. And I'm like, what? There's like 5 levels and 2 of them are the same? What the heck was that? There's supposed to be there was all this hype about this new super 3D engine. Wow, it's going to be so amazing. You can like fling the stormtroopers around and see their arms move and whatnot.
I think looking back, the Havoc engine's way better than anything that game cranked out. Same engine that you use in Just Cause 2 and Red Faction Guerrilla.
I was more impressed with Just Cause 2 just because of the scale. You know, 400 square miles of terrain and you could see off into the distance.
Man,
it was great.
That's no joke either.
There were pretty neat terrains in the Force Unleashed, but $70 isn't worth some neat looking terrains and the ability to use Force lightning and to kill Wookiees.
Well, how about this for an idea? How about they never make a Star Wars game like that? Like Just Cause 2, and it might be a victim of its own popularity because the whole game has to be such a set piece because it's Star Wars. And you have to, like in the game, you couldn't level up, so to speak, and get abilities. The abilities were given to you by the story. And that's kind of disappointing if you, like, did all this stuff to try to get these things, but then you couldn't be given to you until the story dictated so.
Yeah, it kind of made sense, but it's kind of fun to play these kind of in-between stories, you know, kind of in the more, almost like they're fan fiction sometimes. I enjoyed the one about, you know, Boba Fett and Jango Fett or whatever, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and I thought I was going to get the same type of enjoyment out of this, but my God, only 6 hours of content, and I went and got all the little things I could through there, too. I was just very disappointed, and I felt like the company took the developer cost and passed it on to us under the guise of something that's an actual game. Maybe I'm too used to playing role-playing games and games like Modern Warfare where there's online content. I'm just disappointed when I can play through a game in 6 hours. I feel like I was ripped off. I want my money back, and when I sold it back, I didn't get $70 for it. I only got like 40 or 50. So I want my money back.
I don't think you're going to get it.
Well, I'm going to ask for it. So if Mr. Lucas, if you're out there listening,
he's not. He's busy making money. He's
yeah.
busy getting his infusion of virgin blood and riding his Rainbow Pegasus.
I heard he kind of was short on cash and had to sell King Arthur's bones.
Oh no, that's not good for him. Well, I was gonna say something, but I just forgot. Because you distracted me. So give me that damn
My nonsense.
pass. It's like a hot potato.
Hot potato, hot potato.
Hot potato. Okay, so also, I guess I wanted to watch this. Speaking of some COD, EA, of course, is releasing Medal of Honor. Now it's got its first trailer and its first release date, and I thought we'd check it out. If I could do this correct, that'd be awesome.
Hi, you've reached the Patterson residence. Jim, Michelle, and Clary. I'm in right now. Leave a message. We'll get back to you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, honey, it's me. Sorry I missed you. I don't even know what time it is there. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know everything's fine. Hey, tell Chloe good luck at her soccer game. Get Terry's kid to clean out those gutters. I don't want you up on that old ladder. Look, I know you've been watching the news, but most of the action is in the north, hundreds of miles away. Our gear is collecting dust. It's just mud and bugs down here. We're finding things to do and staying out of trouble. If it does find us, our guys are tough as nails, and we're ready to get in the fight. But don't worry, we're Rangers. This is what we do. I love you and Chloe very much. I'll be home soon.
And there we go. That's the first bit of marketing for the EA venture.
It's 3:30.
Let's turn that off. That's awesome. So, Medal of Honor. I don't know. Maybe it could be. It's all marketing, and it's very tricky to the consumer about how it passes off. But maybe if they can pass it off as maybe the thinking man's FPS. Not saying that there's anything wrong with any of the other ones, but Modern Warfare 2 is what it is. It's it's mostly an online played game. The story, I mean, it was fun. The story was that summer blockbuster. You didn't go to it to see this, to get just in depth, entwined with the characters. It was all about non-stop explosions, and that's basically what it was for about 7 or 8 hours. It was just non-stop action, explosions, and crazy stuff, which is good. It has its place, and it fit well for Modern Warfare 2. It was fine.
Well, I had fun with it, but I mean, we all really bought Modern Warfare 2 for the online component.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's another thing we could talk about. But if they can actually get you to connect with these with a situation that is very real world, and it's you play all these games about war and stuff, but you never get connected to them. If they could somehow make that connection in a game like this, that would be awesome. I'm not sure what that says about multiplayer, but that'd be a nice, refreshing change of pace. Although it's come out that DICE is doing the multiplayer, the online component, which did Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I'm not sure if I doubt it's going to be like Battlefield Bad Company 2 because, when you do stuff like that, you got to stay within the limitations of the engine. And so I'm sure it's a totally, completely different engine. So I'm not saying it's going to be like Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I am saying the same company that did BC2 or whatever, Battlefield, whatever, BBC,
DBC2.
R2D2. So anyway, exciting. I thoroughly enjoyed that trailer. I got choked up. We sent that to a buddy that just got back from Iraq, and so I was like, "Hey, dude, I didn't notice I didn't send it to his wife Angie."
Yeah,
I'm not sure how she'd be like, "Oh my God, oh,
Are you really doing that?
oh my God, were you lying to me and saying you were okay?"
I got to give him props because he kept playing World of Warcraft during a mortar attack. Apparently, everyone went to the shelter, so there was a lot more bandwidth.
Oh my God, fuck that, dude. All right, so what else you got, dude? You have to take the horn, man.
Oh, yeah, my microphone. I forgot on my microphone. Well, as most of you are aware, there is a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 coming out. And in preparation for that, NG4.com came up with the 9 worst characters for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This is important because the characters haven't been released yet. And so they had their 9, and I have some commentary on that. First and foremost, they don't want to see Jubilee. You remember Jubilee from X-Men? She used to chick that shoots fireworks.
Yeah, very preteen. She could shoot bubblegum in your face.
Yeah, lame. I agree. I don't want her in the game at all. And Granite,
I don't know that guy.
Granite, no.
Countertops,
Granite. Maybe that's an X-Men that has some lame power we don't ever hear from.
Nice.
I mean, there are going to be a lot of characters in this game, no doubt. I just really want to make sure my favorites are in there. Since we're going to have Capcom, we have our favorite Capcom games, which is obviously, things like the Mega Man series.
Which are accounted for. Although Zero could be in there. That'd be a cool addition.
Well, Snake Man. Do you remember Snake Man? He was in Mega Man 3.
Oh, I think Richard remembers Snake Man.
Oh, do you?
Oh.
He shoots snakes. I mean, come on. No, I don't want to see Snake Man in that game.
I thought you were going to see Snake Man.
But there are a ton of Mega Man characters. I mean, I can't even name all the ones in Mega Man 3, much less what was in Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, X, X2, X3.
X all the way up to X6.
Is it X6?
Well, X7 and X8, but I think X7 and X8 were 3D Super Mario 64 kind of crap.
I don't know. I don't know. I bought Mega Man 10 just for grins. And there's Commando Man. I really don't want to see him in there either.
Commando Man.
Commando Man. It's not what you think. He has guns. He's not, wearing pants without underwear.
Okay.
I was scared there. That's not a really super ability I want to have to think about. Some other things I don't want to see, along with ng4.com. Professor X. He's in a
What are you
wheelchair.
talking about? That'd be awesome. He'd like roll over your toes, and you.
You know, that's like saying I want to see like Stephen Hawking fight Chuck Liddell.
That'd be awesome.
No.
So it's Stephen Hawking. I have to like type like, "You will now die."
It's. I mean, Professor X isn't known for his fighting ability. It's his mental abilities. You know, maybe he can mind control him, but still, he's not meant to be in a fighting game, so don't put him in there. And who can forget Willow, 1988? Yes, there was a Capcom game based on the movie called Willow. Definitely not a character I want to see in there.
Would his name be Peck? Remember that? He used to say, "Out of the way, Peck."
I tried to
Maybe
forget
not.
most of that movie, actually.
Dude, that movie had its place whenever it was out.
Yeah, it had its place in 1988.
Well, shut up. So did Karate Kid. It was an awesome movie. If you don't believe that, it's because you're not the best around.
Oh,
And no
Karate
one's ever gonna
Kid
get you down.
1, 2, 3, and there was a Karate Kid 4 with a chick.
No, that was the third one. Was with a chick.
The third one was with a chick?
Now they're making one with like Will Smith's kid or some shit, and Jackie Chan's Mr. Miyagi. I know.
There are also some things that didn't make the list I want to talk about. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yes. I want to see that.
Yeah, if they put Chippendale Rescue Rangers in that game, the only person that'd buy it would be Richard Gere. Think about it. Think hard. Okay, we're moving on. The Little Mermaid. That was also a Capcom game. Don't want him in MVC3.
I do.
What would her superpower be?
Maybe she'd laid mermaid eggs out of her special mermaid place, birthing place.
This conversation took a turn for the worse.
Huh? You know what I'm saying, buddy? Yeah.
Yo Noid. Domino's Pizza.
Oh my god.
They made a NES game out of that.
No, negative.
You know what? I want them in the game just so I can punch them in the face over and over
Oh my
again.
god, is there another entity in the last 30 years that you just wanted to punt in the face so bad?
You know, I had actually wiped it out of my memory completely until I did a little research online and just to see what games Capcom had made, to see, you know, who could possibly be in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I look at this like Noid, and all of a sudden I like had this flashback, and I just saw this goofy red-looking alien thing with
And
a Domino's
laughed
Pizza.
like he was like crazily retarded.
It scared me. I was terrified. It was like having a waking nightmare.
You always have those. What's the last waking nightmare you had?
It was about the Little Mermaid, actually. And her,
Oh, it was
and her
about Ninja
birthing
Turtles.
holes. Oh, the Ninja Turtle water levels. Yes, I have nightmares about that too. But I haven't forgot it. Like, I had wiped the noise
So
from
you
my
have
memory.
Ninja Turtle wet dreams?
Only sometimes.
Okay, just making sure.
But the Noid, I had completely wiped them from my memory until I tried to come up with this list. So I know you're a big Marvel vs. Capcom 2 fan. What character do you absolutely not want to see return?
Iceman, because he's so fucking cheap. He never takes any projectile damage. Never. All you can do is sit there and spam the block button. He never, because usually in those games, all you do is, you can set a projectile. If you block it, that's fine, but it takes down a bit of your health. Iceman doesn't take down any health whenever he blocks a projectile.
What about the cactus guy?
Yeah, that was weird. What was his name?
I don't know. I just
El
called
Cigaro,
him. Yeah,
or-
I just called him Cactus Guy. He was a freaking cactus.
Verga?
I don't know what it
I think
was.
that was it. I really do. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but really, I mean, also, please make all the characters unlockable at the beginning of the game.
No, don't.
I hate
Just don't make
having
it.
to unlock
Just
all the characters.
don't make it so hard as you did in the original or in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I actually kind of enjoyed it. You felt good about it, but it was too freaking hard to do. It was ridiculously hard to do, dude. It would have taken you a long ass time. It took so much time. People would sell memory cards for PS2 with the save files, the completed everything unlocked on it. But I guess that wouldn't be too hard to do because if one person did it, all they'd have to do would just like spread like wildfire once they got the file. But still, it's that big of a pain in the ass.
If it's a good character, but if I have to play like 200 rounds of Versus Online or something,
Oh,
I don't want to see like you've unlocked Jubilee, and then I'm going to cry and throw the game.
Yeah, you'll have to play more than 200, I promise you. But I digress. You digress.
I always
I'm digressing
digress.
for you.
All I do is rant about stuff. That's my purpose in life.
That's all he does is bitch. Maybe because he is one.
I prefer to call it rant. It's more masculine than manly.
No, it's more internet-ish.
Internet-ish.
Thing.
Here, why don't you talk about Army of Two?
the mic, yo.
What?
Army of Two.
Don't tell me what to do. Alright, so I'm going to get to this review. Not only is it an old review, but I've forgotten to do it the past 2-3 weeks. Yes. That's how consistent we are. So, I am going to review, super late review. Thanks, John. Army of Two, the 40th day. The end. Alright, no. So, Army of Two, the 40th day, you know, story. I wasn't really too concerned about it. It's pretty thin, but it just goes over one day of events, so it's just kind of micromanaged, kind of like a 24 thing, you know. But nothing crazy. They're in Tokyo, or no, they're in Shanghai for something, and stuff blows up, and they're there, and they have their stuff, and they go kill things and people, and take money because they're mercenaries. Anyway.
Get your heart out, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. It's mildly customizable. You can get different masks, and you can actually make your own, you know, design them and stuff, and I guess that's cool, but, I mean, you never really see your face at all, so it's no big deal. So I guess that's the story. Pretty in-depth. I don't know, it was pretty throwaway. It wasn't anything spectacular. The voice acting was meh, you know, character, you didn't get integrated with the characters all that much. So now, gameplay, it was kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, I'll tell you, because for one thing you don't think about when you play these third-person shooters is the camera angle automatically adjusts. Like, take a game like Gears of War, right? So you're running, say you're roadie running or something, when you go into cover, depending on which side, if you go left or right of the cover, the camera will automatically adjust to look over your shoulder to give you the best angle. Not in this game. All the changing of camera angles you have to do manually. And it's like, it becomes a pain in the ass because you forget to do it. You get like fixation on the screen, you know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you notice that you've been sitting over the wrong shoulder where you could have gotten a better advantage of the other one for like 10 minutes, and you're like, oh shit. And then you stop thinking about what you're doing in the game to do that, and then like 5 minutes later, or like actually 5 seconds later is when you should be able to, or you need to switch it back to the other side, but you're not thinking about that, so then it just never ends that you just notice that you need to switch your shoulders. And especially in cover.
Controls, because with the first-person controls, you know, you don't see your body out in front of you, but you have total control of the camera, and I actually prefer that because it's more realistic, because in real life, you don't get a bird's eye view over your head and to the left.
No, but I mean, it has its place and it's enjoyable. But I mean, if you're going to do something like that, I don't think that was the smart idea to do. And I understand that people, you know, have, I guess, shoulder preferences. I don't know. I'm left-shouldered, right-shouldered. But it all depends on, you know, the position and what you're trying to do, you know, with where you're at. I don't know. It was just very frustrating. I mean, it was so detracting. It really, I'd have to knock down the gameplay a lot. Another thing that they, I guess, is kind of, I'm not sure if it was famous for. I'm not sure how much they did it in the first one. But they do these co-op, like, they'd have these little things like co-op snipe. Like, you'd have a set-piece situation where there would be, you know, multiple enemies, and then you and your partner would have to set up and snipe at the same time, and y'all pick a target and time your shot or whatever. This one had about 8 to 10 more little set-piece possibilities, and it was kind of a beating because it was all forced. I got into like 1 or 2 of them at the very beginning of the game just to let the game show me what to do, and after that I never got into another one. So it's like, why would you advertise this stuff and put it out there whenever you never put, I had no clue how to get in a position, because one was like co-op snipe. And then there was one where a guy got confronted by an enemy or something, and he had the option to surrender. So another option was you surrender while your partner snipes. Another option was both of you surrender, and then, you know, before y'all really give up, y'all pull out your guns and just blaze them. It's like I never got into a position where it was a co-op or it was a give-up snipe. Never. So why put it in there? And really, there was no need to do it. Because all it was just, you know, running in there and just barreling through and killing stuff and making stuff go boom. Which is also fine, but I don't know. If you're going to gear your gameplay around co-op stuff and you don't really implement it very well, and then you don't really put it in there for the player to recognize at all, I think it hurts it a lot. And I guess the last part, I guess that's worth talking about, is that your customizable weapons and stuff. You know, that's a big thing about the first one. Army of Two uses like an aggro system where it's like whoever's shooting and what type of gun they're shooting depends on the amount of aggro they get, which means all the enemies pay attention to them, while the other one basically can walk right in front of other guys and they quote unquote won't see them. And then that allows them to kind of like, you know, take a bunch of people out and so. When you can customize your weapons to raise aggro, damage, range, and stuff, but every single weapon basically shoots the same. So there's no, unless it's like an Uzi and a chain gun, there's really no difference. So I thought that was kind of weak because I stayed with the same damn gun the whole time, and I didn't need to change. I wish they would have implemented, you know, a little bit more variety in game.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very exciting to have one weapon the entire game.
It wasn't.
Dante's Inferno.
Dante's Inferno. Although it did have the skill tree was nice to use on Dante's Inferno. But anyway, so that is my review of Army of Two: The 40th Day. Meh, I will say. Pick it up if you're bored. If it's like 20 or maybe 20, 15 or less, it might be worth your while. So, awesome, from awesome. So I think that's all we got this week. So.
You like games and I like games. Watch Split Screen.